Hello and welcome back. My name is Randy Scamihorn, and this is the Chairman's Brief. Thank you for joining me for another episode as we talk about school issues and the Cobb School Board. This week, we received a number of questions from you that I'll do my best to answer, and we'll talk a little about the board's legislative priorities while the Georgia House and Senate are in session. As a reminder, before we get started, the superintendent and his staff run the district, and the Cobb School Board is 7 individual members who together as one board should speak with one voice as we represent our county. As board chair, during our time together, I'm speaking for the board and providing that one voice. It is important to our board that we spend a few minutes together, especially when we have some in our community, including board members who are spending a lot of time and effort trying to harm the district. As spokesperson for the board, you can depend on direct answers and direct questions from our board. Unfortunately, a few of our board members who are in direct violation of board policy can make that message confusing when you, our customers, receive mixed messages. As a board, we are not perfect, and as a district, we are not perfect. We are always learning and growing so Cobb can continue to be the county in which you choose to live, work, learn, and play. As the largest employer in Cobb County, we remain committed to continually finding ways to serve you better. We will do better by making sure we, including those who prefer not to, follow the laws, policies, vision, and mission which have made our schools some of the best in the entire country. Great schools don't become great schools without a lot of work, and we will not allow a select few to tear down what you, our community, has built. Now, we have received a number of questions from parents who are thinking about what the next school year will look like, particularly after the Centers for Disease Control's updated guidance for schools was released last week. As the superintendent mentioned during the last board meeting, staff has been working on plans for the next school year since this school year began. At this time, the only detail we know is that all families will be offered face-to-face and remote classroom options. The other thing we know for sure is plans for next year are being built based on feedback from students, teachers, and families, and public health guidance for the Cobb County. We are educators and continue to rely on public health experts for public health guidance. The recently released CDC guidance recommends districts take steps which Cobb has taken months ago, including requiring masks, social distancing, hand washing, regular cleaning of facilities, and effective contact tracing. More specific guidance about how the CDC's recommendations apply to Cobb schools and classrooms will be provided by Cobb and Douglas Public Health. Superintendent Ragsdale has been clear. His decision will continue to be guided by their recommendations despite the pressure being applied from some who do not agree with our COVID-19 response, including some board members. He remains committed to remote and face-to-face classroom options for parents. Although it is not what you read in the metropolitan Atlanta newspapers, the superintendent's management of our district during this crisis is appreciated by the majority of our county. We exist to serve our students and families, and his focus on student success has not been wavered. We have also received a number of questions from parents and staff about Alert Point. Alert Point is one part of a 12-point district-wide safety initiative we call Cobb Shield. It is an emergency notification system that has been installed in all Cobb schools and is used to support other emergency response procedures. Alert Point allows an entire campus to be locked down within seconds of being triggered by any staff member who may notice a security concern on campus.
Total school lockdown.
Cobb students and staff are safer because we have it installed in our buildings. You can read more about Alert Point and the rest of Cobb Shield at www.cobbshield.com. We also received a series of questions about our last board meeting. During the last board meeting, the board, as a whole, voted to extend Superintendent Ragsdale's contract in a 4-3 vote. Board members Chastain, Wheeler, Banks, and I voted to extend, while board members Howard, Davis, and Hutchins voted not to extend. Over the last 7 years, Cobb schools have reached unprecedented levels of success academically, athletically, financially, as a staff and as an organization, thanks to the leadership of Superintendent Ragsdale, and despite the many pressures applied by those with a political or personal agenda, including board members. Let me repeat, we are focused on student success, period. We are fortunate to have him, and every Cobb taxpayer, parent, staff member, and student is better for it. We will continue to answer frequently asked questions submitted by you, so keep those questions coming and we will get to as many as we can each week. Every year, one of the most important but often overlooked times for a school or district is the legislative session. Georgia's House and Senate meet throughout the winter and spring to create the laws and budgets which directly impact what the classroom looks like and how schools work. This year, our board's legislative priorities are based on 3 priorities we know lead to successful outcomes for students. We know that because Cobb has been one of the most successful large districts in the entire country, particularly over the last 7 years. The highest graduation rates in district history, highest SAT and ACT scores in the metro area, highest Georgia milestone scores in the metro area, being AAA rated in finance and named one of the best places to work in the state by Forbes magazine 2 years in a row, doesn't happen by accident. Superintendent Ragsdale continues to lead a team of educators who, equipped with policies and laws which have centered on our legislative priorities, have made this district one of the best in the entire country. Our first legislative priority is educational access. We know teachers are the most important part of any student's classroom. This priority means our staff supports and informs laws that support our teachers. Specifically, we have staff working on laws related to the teacher pipeline and sustaining the teacher's retirement system. Our second legislative priority is financial sustainability. We also know for students to receive a quality education, their classrooms, schools, and teachers need to be fully funded. Specifically, we have staff working on laws that protect public education dollars and fully funding the state's funding formula, which, until Governor Kemp's administration, was not fully funded for years. Our third legislative priority is accuracy and accountability. We also know students and teachers shouldn't be worried about formulas and percentages. They should be focused on learning. Teachers need to understand what students know and be provided with the flexibility to teach what each individual student needs to know. Specifically, our staff is working on laws that reduce the impact of standardized testing and provide as much flexibility as possible for teachers to teach students what they need to know. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me today. I hope our time together has been useful in helping you understand a little bit more about our priorities this legislative session and how we are fighting for our students, our teachers, and our parents. Last week was winter break, and the board hopes you and your family enjoyed time and activities together safely. Thank you for supporting the Cobb County School District. It is because of our community and staff that this county is truly the best place to teach, lead, and learn. Have a wonderful day. Thank you again.